Well, how did you decide on pulmonary and critical care?
I think it was during pandemic. It
Really?
started pandemic. I was going to the clinic, so heart failure, like EP, like
Hmm.
electrophysiology. I'm like, I cannot do this. I really, I can't. So then I come back, and then that's when the pandemic started. I
Yeah,
was on
yeah.
second year of residency, and then the mess started. So they starting code blues, like we were putting central lines in the general floor, like really sick people. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I love this. Like, people were so stressed, and I was just, let's go to another day. That
Mm.
interaction with like Spanish speakers while they were sick, like made me feel, oh man, I really love this. I really need to get better in English and everything. And really, that's what I want. Like, is really taking care of them when they are really sick.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Last Zebra. I'm your host, Ugo Ezema. As always, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And our next guest is Dr. Deanna Espinoza.
Yep.
Did, did I say that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. Thanks
Wel-
for asking.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, everyone knows I'm from Ecuador originally. I grew up in a very tiny town. And then I had to travel like 1 hour to go to med school and everything. So really, my parents were very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, one day I decided, like, you know what, I really need to do something else with my life. So I just decided to come to the US and go to the pathway of being certified here. And then I did my residency in Chicago, and then I matched here, just finished my Pulm Critical Care Fellowship. So happily married. My husband, he's from Colombia, and then I have a little dog, a Jack Russell. So that's pretty much my life.
How long have you wanted to be a doctor?
um, I don't remember, but I think I love to give the pills to my grandma. And then kind of my grandma was always like, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a doctor. And then they always buy me these like toys, like to play when I was a child. So everything was on my mind to be a doctor. And then I was pretty good on mathematics. So in high school, kind of I was going to doing engineering or something like that. So I actually applied to both. And then I passed the boards on both to be accepted either med school or
Yeah,
engineering.
yeah, yeah.
But then I decided med school. So kind of at the end, I got a little bit twisted, but I'm like, no, I really want to be a doctor. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Did you know from an early age what kind of doctor you wanted to be?
not at all. I think initially I wanted to be a surgeon, but
Mm.
really my last year of med school, you do like in hospital rotations, like an internship. And then I went to the surgeries, and then I saw this takes forever. Like even one day I fall asleep in the OR. I think I'm like, no, this doesn't work for me at all. I need something else. So that's when I really realized, oh, I want something different than being a surgeon. So that came the idea of like doing internal medicine or like psychiatry maybe, but really was more internal medicine. That
Mm-hmm.
was my pathway. I was not sure about at the end. I want to be a cardiologist. I really like the heart a lot, but I was not sure at all. I knew for sure no surgery.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And when I remember doing my surgery rotation, I did my surgery rotation at St. Agnes in Baltimore.
Okay.
And it was a vascular surgery procedure. I want to say it was a carotid endarterectomy.
Yeah.
And for some reason it was taking a little bit longer, or maybe I was tired and my hand dropped and touched the surgical field.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah, that's
goodness.
the worst thing when you
Oh
are
my,
learning to get dressed.
I
Is
know.
like it's a lot.
And in that moment, I realized that the OR, as it is for
Mhm.
surgeons, is not for me.
Yes.
And I was really interested in doing surgery up until that. I was like, oh yeah, no, this isn't for me at all.
Yeah, I know it's like great from the standpoint what you can do, but really I was missing the interaction a lot with patients. Like we
Mm.
used to do rounds, and it was about like pain medications, and then spending a lot of time with the patient in the OR, but there is no really this close interaction. So I miss a little bit that part in that way, and then taking really like surgeries of like 10 hours, 12 hours, I think it's a lot.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
really
yeah.
need to love that to be able to do that. Yeah.
Let's talk about Ecuador. Growing up in Ecuador and doing medical school in Ecuador as well. Is
Yes.
that correct? What
Yes.
was it like growing up in Ecuador?
Um, I was a very happy child.
Mm.
I think my family really am the first one like finishing university.
Mm,
My grandparents are farmers, so really was not involved on technology or any type of like luxury, which I had everything when I was a child. So
mhm,
my grandparents, they used to bring potatoes, milk. So I was a very happy girl, and then just my childhood was surrounded of cows, horses, and things like that. So I was very active. And then my grandma used to bring me books. So I always used to read a little
mm,
bit. They really want me to be something in life because they didn't have the resources to go to school, or like my grandparents, they didn't even finish primary or school.
mm,
And then my dad is retired police. Also, he was very strict on like, yeah, you should do something with your life, right? And then my mom was the sweet woman that unfortunately she got pregnant. I mean, she was like 19 or 20 years old, and over there is really like before that mentality. If you're a woman, like maybe you need to quit what you're doing. So
mhm.
unfortunately, she was not able to go to university as well. So that's how I grow. And then I got my two little brothers. I'm the oldest. My other brother is 25 years old, and the other one is 19. So really a beautiful childhood with my family and just growing in the farm, and yeah, very nice.
What kind of farm was it?
So it's just they have cows, and they get like potatoes, like fresh like vegetables like
Mhm.
that, but it's mainly cows. Like is they produce milk and then they sell the milk to a big industry or whatever. But very nice.
Are your siblings, your 2 brothers, are they still in Ecuador?
No, they are back in Ecuador.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, they are.
Okay. So from primary school, you did college. What
Yes.
did you do your undergrad in?
So over there is different. Like you need to choose like if you want mathematics or you want like go to med school, you do biology. So my last 3 years of high school is different. It's like
Mhm.
you do 6 years of high school, and the last 3 years you choose a pathway, which I choose like microbiology or one of those
Mm.
like science related, like predicting that I'm gonna go to med school. But it's very different. So you go very early to high school. I think you go when you are 12 years old, and then by 16 you finish your high school.
Also, it's like in Jamaica too. Is it the British system?
Kind of
So
like you go to primary when you are very, very child,
yeah,
and then
first to 6 and
yes,
then 7 to 12.
exactly. It's kind of
Okay.
that system. So technically around 16, 17 years old, you need
You're
to choose
done.
what you want to do with your life. So
Right.
I went to med school when I was like, I think early 17 or end of 16. So you're really not sure what you're
Yeah.
choosing, but thanks God I choose the right pathway.
Wait, so you started because this was the if I'm remembering this correctly, this is how it is basically after your primary school, you can go to straight to medical school, and that is instead of a 4-year college, it's 6 years. So you do
Exactly.
2 years of essentially what is pre-med, and
Yeah,
then the
they
four
are
years of
mixed.
medical
Yeah,
school.
technically. I mean, you go fully 6 years of med school, and then your last year is kind of an internship. So really, you go
Mm.
directly. It's like 6 years of med school in
Right,
my
right,
country.
right,
Yeah,
right, right,
so it's
right.
a little bit longer, but you know
Or
what?
shorter, really, because you
Yeah,
skip.
I skipped the undergrad part.
Yeah,
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 so I
yeah.
really finished my med school. I was I
22.
don't remember 22, 23, kind 22. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's really fast.
Was it what you thought it would be? Medical school?
It was rough. I think first and second and third year, is a lot of like here, a lot of like studying, and really a lot of things doesn't make sense until you really start
Mhm.
going to the hospital. That's when I really love. But first and second year is very, very rough. And I went to the public med school, which is really the less people pass the year, the better, kind of. So it's very like the test is very hard. Like
Very
going to the
competitive.
public system also is hard. Like the matching system to be
Mhm.
able to get accepted to med school, it was like hundreds of people take the exam, and just like I don't remember, like 80, 90 are selected to go in this med school. And
Wow.
then because it's free, right? I
Mhm.
didn't pay, like I paid like $2 or something for my entire med school, which is great.
Right.
But there are the private system, which is a little bit more expensive. And of course, my parents would have made the effort, but it was not Italy. I
Right.
had to match in the public system. Yeah.
Well, how much different is the education between the is there much of a difference between the education of the private medical versus the public medical?
Not really. I feel right now the private, you get more resources. Even
Mm,
right now it's getting more popular to come here to the US. So like the private med school really invests a lot of money or sending like, for example, rotations, or they have a lot of resources. So I
hmm.
think that one of the main privates in my hometown is pretty good right now. It's just, everyone wants to go to the public because the reputation, really good doctors are trained over there. But right now, I think at this point, like both of them are really good. It's just a big difference between how much you need to pay for your going into.
Right.
Yeah.
From your experience, do you think that system works better, or than what we have here? Because I grew up in Jamaica
Hmm.
and in Nigeria. Often people do exist. That's how it is.
Hmm.
Often you go um, from high school straight into medical school, into your
Yeah.
professional school, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that system is better than how it is here, instead of having college
Yes.
between?
I think it's better. I think I have here college. I think helps you to grow like in other areas, like cultural
Hmm.
areas. Like for me, it's everything. My life's around medicine and dog, my husband, and that's it. No,
Yeah.
but here I hear like they do art or
Hmm.
something else.
Hmm.
It's really nice to have more like this background cultural. But to be honest, if you are ready or you want to do, is just go straight forward to what you need. I don't know about the type of education. I think over there, like I study a med school in Spanish. So really the translation between like new guidelines and everything gets lost. So we are kind of a little
Mm.
bit delaying like how we practice medicine compared with here in the US. But I think the good thing, I don't have to pay anything. So that's great.
Right,
Want to
right,
start
right,
with
right.
that. And I think a lot of people with low resources or who really want to go into med school really have the chance. While here is really difficult. You really need to have a good like support or getting like loans to be able to access to school. So I think the fact that there are still schools that are free makes a lot of difference, especially in like low income. Like
Right.
yeah, so I think it's important. But compare the system, I love it having 6 years of like med school. It's long, but I think I learn a lot and I grow in that process to be a doctor as well.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So you were you,
Okay. There. There.
yeah.
Okay.
So you were a doctor at the age of 22,
Mhm.
23,
Yeah.
which I think is the same thing. My mom is a physician as well. She's a
Okay.
doctor. She got her doctorate in Nigeria
Yeah.
around the same age. What was the next step after that?
Um, so as every Ecuadorian doctor, really, you finish med school and you need to do something, right?
Hmm.
You either apply to a postgraduate type of course in your hometown, which is also hundreds of people apply and really few are selected. Um, it's challenging to come to the US because I didn't speak any English. Like really,
Mm.
I took some courses, but it was very basic. Like
Hmm.
I became fluent once I came here. So really, that's a huge barrier for like South Americans really come here unless you really are able to speak
Right.
English or have this exposure. Like most of the people just go to Argentina, Brazil to do the postgraduate, but really involves a lot of like resources and be able to have somebody there to
Hmm.
be there. Honestly, it was very challenging because I was not fluent in English. But then my uncle actually lives in New York. So I asked him, you know what? Like, I will pay for my exams. Do you mind if I come and stay with you? And he said, yeah, come here. So that's why I decided to come to the US. Like, I'm pretty sure if I had someone in Spain or family members, probably I would go somewhere else,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right.
I think that was the main reason because kind of I was able to live somewhere where I can just take my steps. And that's it. That's how I decided to come to the US. But most of the physicians in Ecuador, you really need to get another training in that way. You really get competitive and competent to take care of the patient. So
What's that postgraduate? Is it residency, or is it literally what I think it is?
yeah,
Postgraduate.
it's no, it's actually a residency. But for example, here is a little bit different the system. Like for thoracic surgery, you need to do like general surgery and then go to thoracic
Right,
surgery.
right.
For cardiology, here you do residency and then the fellowship.
Hmm.
Over there is the straight. So you want to be do cardiology, you go straight to cardiology or things like that.
Got
If
you.
you want to be like, they don't appreciate too much internal medicine because usually after you finish med school, you do a rural year, which you serve to underserved population, and then you can work. You
Right.
can be as a primary care or as an internist, and really you get the same salary. So really you don't need to go for a residency or fellowship to start working as a physician there, because they think the 6 years will be maybe enough, right? And then my last year is just internship. It was like even rough, like more difficult than the internship here. It was really all the time in the hospital. You rotate different services, taking care by yourself patients. So I think that year is great for experience. So really prepares you, plus the extra year that you need to serve to your country, right? So you're ready to really practice by yourself. But if you want really, you like cardiology, you can go straight to cardiology. So it's a
Gotcha.
little bit straightforward, the pathway.
So you do that cardiology or whatever else you want to do after you've done the year of service.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you did that as well.
No, I escaped. I'm like, I will not do that. It's
You
true.
left before that
I
year.
left before that. I
Okay.
think being single and I had good grades, which usually let you grade a little bit higher and choose the spot. But really, you are sent to the jungle or really to a really
Wow.
weird place. And I was like planning, to leave the country regardless. So I really escaped and just didn't do that year, which I regret. You really, like as a public system, which the government funds, we should do something for our country. But yeah, my decision was, you know what, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to leave. Whatever I need to go, I would just leave.
If you wanted to practice back in Ecuador, would you have to still do that year?
I think there is a way to kind of go around in the way I
Even
don't
now?
go to the middle or to the jungle, because I'm legally not certified to work in Ecuador because I skipped that year, right?
Ah.
So I'm a doctor in Ecuador, but I think I need to do some extra paperwork. I will not have to go to the jungle, like perm critical care in the jungle will be fun, but no. If I want to come back ever, it's just a bunch of papers that I need to do, but yeah.
So you moved to New York.
Yes.
Do you remember what year?
I moved by the end of 2015.
So 2015, you moved to New York. What was that transition like? Granted, there are a lot of New York. You can feel at home at New York
Yes.
somehow because there are many people that are Spanish speaking, and aside from the structure of the city that can be so overwhelming.
Yes.
What was it like?
It was very rough, to be honest. After I came because I wanted to do the Kaplan system, which is like just to get ready for the steps. But really, I struggle a lot with the English, like that part. I am working as an au pair after I live like a couple of months with my uncle. I'm like, you know what? Here we speak Spanish. Like, I'm not really learning. I think I'm going to look for something else. So I met this beautiful woman one time. I was hanging out, and then she said, oh, why you don't come and work with as an au pair with me? And then I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. So I met this beautiful girl. She was 2 years when I met her, and I kind of moved to live with her. And then I learned a lot of English with her, like while I was studying. And then after that, I was like involved already in the Kaplan system, like preparing for my steps, but still I was learning English. It was a side to side. It was very rough before I met this girl. Like, honestly, like I was struggling with the language. And one day I called my mom. I'm like, I don't think I can do this anymore. It's very rough. I don't know if I will be able to take step one. I don't understand a lot of questions. So she's like, okay, I will get the ticket and you can come back. And then kind of in that between, I met this girl. So really make a great connection. I was starting enjoying more New York. So I just stayed there and then just took my steps, and then everything went smooth.
How did you meet her?
So I was one time in a bar. So I just went to away from my uncle. And I think I met my husband already, like kind of we would start dating during that time. So I was just waiting, and then she was next to me, and then we just start talking. And then I told her, look, I'm a physician, I'm here, like a little bit what she could understand in English. And then she's like, oh, I'm looking for somebody to come and live, like as an au pair. She has her nanny, but you can just stay here. We can practice, but you cross cover between I come from my job and the nanny leaves. It was just 1 hour, 2 hours cross cover. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Of course. Let's do it. And then she used to live in Tribeca. So I really stayed with her for I would say 8 months or 9 months until I took my step one and step two, I think. And then had to leave and went to Chicago for my residency.
So this is you said this was as an au pair?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What was that experience like? I'm sure that must have been so bizarre.
It was weird because I was trying to study, and then this little girl just started speaking Spanish as well because she wanted the daughter to learn Spanish. So it was a
Yeah.
great experience. I had so much fun. She treated me like another daughter, to be honest. She
Mm,
was amazing. Like everywhere where she used to go, we used to go to restaurants, like parties. Like she really took care of me like a mom, to be honest. Like I was the other daughter. I never feel like I'm working for her or anything. It was
mm.
just such amazing like way we communicate and everything. It was like a second mom for me. And I talk to her like during the match season. Like I update her with everything. So it's really like a mom for me.
What's her name?
Browing Owen.
You should say hi to her.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Hi,
her.
Rowan.
It sounds like she changed the course of your life.
Yes. I always tell to my entire family, if I would not have met her, I don't think I will be here today. It's just such a great support. Like she just changed everything. And she's this like CEO from my company, like really admiring person who just came from like a very humble, and then she went to
Mm-hmm.
Cambridge, and really, really great person. So
Mm-hmm.
I love her. She's amazing. And I love Abigail, which is the one I took care of. She's great. Like right now, she's, I think, 8 years old. They are in Dubai right now.
Oh,
But yeah, I call her during her birthday. They always remember my birthday. So really, I love them. They changed my life.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So from that au pair experience, you match into where did you go to residency?
I did McNeil Hospital, which is part of Loyola,
Ah, this is in Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah.
And so that must have been 2017.
Hmm.
2017, you match into residency. Was
Yeah.
that your first time?
Yes. Yes.
Well, how, as an international medical graduate myself, I
Uh-huh.
know how nerve wracking, how scary that application and
Hmm.
matching process. A lot of us apply to everything, every single program. Of course, the challenge with that is how expensive it can be
Yes.
to apply in the first place.
Hmm.
I didn't go down that route just because of the cost,
Hmm.
but you applied to internal medicine, and what was the application process like for you? And when you matched,
Oh my
how
gosh.
did you feel?
I still remember that day. I cried. I was still in the subway, I think in New York. I just cried the entire I was taking the art train. I was just crying. I didn't even pass like the stuff I had to leave. But I think, all the effort that you put or something that you think you're not gonna pass or like, it's amazing. Like I didn't do well on step one, to be honest.
Mm,
And I am very transparent because a lot of international medical graduates,
mhm,
there are a lot of people who get really high scores, and
mhm.
then you get discouraged if you get a lower score. My score was not the best, but I think it was a lot of factors like language. I could not understand some questions, so whatever. Like I got very nervous to that one. So for me, matching that day with that score, I was like, yeah, I can do it. Like that was amazing. Like somebody gave me the opportunity, to be part of this system because honestly, I don't know what I would have done. Maybe probably I would still be in an opera or something in New York. But it was amazing. I think the process is very challenging. I think I apply broadly, and you don't feel good enough with those scores or really coming from another country or something like that. I didn't
Mhm.
apply to these big names, universities or anything. I really target programs where there were more South Americans or really community programs. So I really apply broad but really low kind of program.
Right.
Yes. So that was how I applied because it's a lot of money. Like we're talking about thousands to be able to apply broadly. And then I didn't get too many interviews. I think I got like 5 or 6. Like, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You don't have anything to lose, right? And then this program particularly, I make a lot of connection because it's in a very small community that a lot of
Mhm.
patients speak Spanish. So, women speak Spanish, like just take me. You're not going to lose it. But they were very nice. And then, yeah, very nice, the people. And the co-fellows was the best. A lot of
Mhm.
South Americans that matched with me. Like we were just a community of South Americans there, like just enjoying residency. So it was great. It was great.
I'm remembering now that process for me as well. Because the other thing, along with how expensive it is,
Yes.
the interview process
Yeah.
is also adds that expense. So if you have to travel for the interview,
Yeah. And we have to travel during that
exactly,
time. Yes.
exactly, you had to travel for the interview and language. If
Yes.
you're worried about expressing yourself in such a way
Yes.
to be enthusiastic, for them to feel like, well, she will fit into our program
Yes.
or he will fit into our program, that can be very, very challenging. The interview part can be the most challenging part
Yeah.
after you've overcome how expensive it is to even get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I was very like careful where I get the flights or try to make. I think I got like two interviews were in Chicago, so I really tried to coordinate and just both of them at the same time. But it was very difficult, like to move hotels and everything.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
very different from now. Right now, everything's on Zoom.
I know everything is virtual now,
Yeah,
thanks to the
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 COVID.
pandemic. Yeah, to the COVID.
Yeah,
What was what was Chicago like for you? From
I
from New York to Chicago.
Oh my gosh, New York is such an amazing place. I know some people that don't like. I think it's just that was the first city that I really live, and but it was overwhelming.
Hmm.
Like the train, the people, the tourists. It's just you are part of everything, and people are maybe they don't care too much if you fall in the street, right? It's just New Yorkers are very straight. They have their
They keep
scheduling. They
going.
keep going.
Yeah.
Chicago is like I compare New York without tourists. It's like you have
Mm.
everything, you access to everything. You have the Ecuadorian embassy is over there, so it's great. I can find food from everywhere. I think Chicago is where I grow as a physician. Like really, that's where like really start making those connections like with patients and really try to advocate a little bit about like Spanish speakers, like it's like, did you use the translator? I'm like, no, I can speak Spanish. Like really feel important and how a physician like coming from other backgrounds like changes the medical system, right? The patients were very comfortable. My clinic was very busy because they always request like the Spanish speaker doctor, like she needs to
Mhm.
be there, so then you understand like how you can change the system and how important is diversity. And that's when I started. Yeah, maybe the programs will like me after, like,
Mhm.
so it's really, I would love to come back to Chicago, I think, in the future, to be honest. I really like Chicago, but yeah, and then I came here, so it changed a lot. But
Mhm.
Chicago is a very nice city that very like safe. Where I used to live in the suburbs, very safe that area. So I really like, and I like the winter. So
Oh, you
yeah,
do?
I like snow. Yeah,
Wow. I love Chicago. I will
yeah.
say that. I lived about a year in Chicago for
Hmm.
my rotation.
Okay.
I did some of my core rotations there and some electives there.
Hmm.
The winter, I did not enjoy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not enjoy it at all. But summertime, Chicago
It's
is
amazing.
one of my favorite. So New Orleans is my favorite city in the United
Hmm.
States. New
Good.
Orleans. Chicago is right there for me.
Yes.
Summertime Chicago
Yeah.
is right. It is beautiful. The way I think about Chicago is somebody looked at New York and was like, you know what? Let's clean it up.
Yes. Without all the mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's clean it up. Let's make the roads wider.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Let's just space things out a little bit.
Yeah.
Make it look a little neater. And
Uh-huh.
that's what Chicago is.
Yeah.
It's by the lake. Uh it's breezy.
Hmm.
It's summertime Chicago is almost a perfect city. It's
Yes.
almost a perfect city.
Yes. Except the
Um
winter.
except the winter. The winter is I
Yeah.
was there when they had when was I in Chicago? So I started, so this must be 2016,
Hmm.
2017. I was at was it Rush? I forget the
No
name of the,
rush.
yeah, either Rush or there's another school, like Cook
Cook
County.
County.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there
Yeah.
was another
That's a
one.
great hospital.
Yeah, there
A
was
lot of action.
yeah, and there was another place that we rotated. The name is escaping me right now, but one of those winters is when they had one of the coldest winters they ever
Hmm.
had, and I remember opened the door and the snow was like knee high.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh, there's no way we're going to work today. But all my co-students, all my classmates who had been living in Chicago or from Chicago were getting ready. And I was just like, what are you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way and they're just like, no, this is normal.
It's normal. Yeah.
This
Here
is
they will close the streets like when the temperature goes below. Like something over there, you keep working,
you
keep
just
working.
keep
Yeah.
going. And I could not believe it. I could not believe my ears would freeze off no matter how much I cut.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, how do people live here? But like I said, summertime Chi-Town
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a beautiful,
It's a beautiful,
city.
beautiful city. And I like hiking. So I used to go around like to the national parks in Illinois, like a lot.
Mm.
So I really love the mountains and everything. And I think it's from my background, right? I miss the mountains, the farm. Like my farm is in the middle of a bunch of mountains. So I'm always hiking over there. So I think I miss a lot of that. So that gives me a little bit.
Do you feel like your training in Ecuador, those 6 years that you spent in Ecuador, because it sounds like a good bit of it, you kind of have like a little bit of residency intertwined into
Yes.
it. Do you feel like that prepared you for residency?
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very efficient, like in intern year, not regarding like management per se, because I'm still learning, but really
Mm-hmm.
the interaction with patients, not like the first time I'm interacting with patients. I have taken care of radio patients.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have I played central lines before coming to the US, like
Mm-hmm.
during this internship, and it was like blind central lines. You don't use ultrasound or anything when I was there. So kind of those type of experience, I think really, especially the interaction with patients, is
Mm-hmm.
very straightforward. And I was very, very okay. Like as long as, I was speaking Spanish with my patients. So I was very, very confident like doing those things. Like maybe medically I was giving some bad advice or something during that time, but like the interaction with the patients was very, very smooth for me. Yeah.
Well, how did you decide on pulmonary and critical care?
I think it was during pandemic. It
Really?
started pandemic. So the same. I always go to other pathway, and I experience that, and I'm like, no, no, no.
Mm.
So my hospital is a community hospital, which is linked with Loyola,
Mm-hmm.
and then they ask you, like during first year, where you want to do your elective because you want your letter of recommendation, and
Mm-hmm.
in a university in the big one. So I said, cardiology, let's do it. 0 point, like
Cardiology.
cardiology. First, in my hospital, or critical care attendings during that time were like mainly hospitalists that have been doing for a long time critical care. They are
Mm.
great. It's just,
So they were grandfathered
yes,
into it.
grandfather, like they are
Yeah.
called the critical care specialists, but they were hospitals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were amazing. Like I learned a lot from them. But then at one point we had a pulmonary doctor, pulmonary critical care, and she came and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. But I was very focused, like, I think I'm gonna do cardiology. So then the same. I went to Loyola, I did my cardiology rotation, and then I just said, I don't want to do this. I was going to the clinic, so heart failure, like EP, like
Mm-hmm.
electrophysiology. I'm like, I cannot do this. I really, I can't. So then I come back, and then that's when the pandemic started. And that was like it started on like February, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was on
yeah.
second year of residency. And then the mess started. So they starting code blues, like we were putting central lines in the general floor, like really sick people. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I love this. Like, people were so stressed, and I was just, let's go to another day. Like, I really enjoy it. It was bad for the patient, was so sad. But the same, like my patients were Spanish speaker. I were making calls for them when they are about to be intubated with a BiPAP. And I was like important, like being able to translate. They didn't need to use the telephone just to say goodbyes to that. So that
Mm.
interaction with like Spanish speakers while they were sick, like made me feel, oh man, I really love this. I really need to get better in English and everything. And really, that's what I want. Like, it's really taking care of them when they are really sick. This patient family conversation, I was like, I really enjoyed like the way and the interaction and how grateful they are always with you. I love it. I said, I want to do this. Now I was worried because we were like 5 months about to apply,
Mm-hmm.
and my CV was mainly cards because I was always, and my
Oh.
hospital, it was like an ICU where mainly they were doing cabbage, triple vessel disease in this
Gotcha,
community.
gotcha.
So I have a lot of cases of cardiology, complications, tamponade. So
Mm.
my CV was cardiology. And actually, when I was interviewing for Pulm Critical Care, well, Dr. Palomino didn't ask me that, but there were other programs like, your CV looks pretty much like cardiology.
Cardiology.
I'm like, to be honest, like first year, I really was more towards that. But believe me, I really don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I was kind of towards cardiology when I started, but I love it during pandemic. It was the direct exposure to critical care in a massive situation. And I'm like, I love this. I really love this.
What was it about the cardiology heart failure EP that you were like, ah, nah, this isn't it?
You know, I think I misunderstood from my hospital that those cardiology critical care patients were managed mainly by cardiology. I'm like, those are cool cases of fifth storm or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized, no, they are not taking care of that well. There are some hospitals that had a CCU, but the
Mm.
main honor of all these critical care patients is pulm critical care, actually, because cardiologists, they come, they round, they give the recommendations on that part. But I love the critical illness. It's not
Right, right,
about the
right,
heart.
right.
And it's just because I was biased in the hospital, we had all the, like, mainly like 50%, 60% were CCU, right? And we were rounding on them. But I think I just misunderstood what part I like. It's like DKA. Oh, I like endo. No, I like DKA. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
I like the critical illness, not specifically each topic, right? So I think I just misunderstood myself.
So you then come to Tulane.
Yeah.
Um, obviously that's where I did my
Yeah.
fellowship. I'm very, very fond of Tulane and everybody there. How I Because we shared a lot of the same experiences where
Mhm.
that's concerned. I'm curious to see what your interview was like. Of course, it was over
Zoom.
virtual. It was over
Zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Tell me what your interview was like, and what was your first impression of our program?
Yes. So I think how friendly people were made
Mhm.
me rank really high. We Google people, and then I saw the profile of Dr. Lasky, and I was like, oh my God, he's so accomplished. And then
Yeah.
other people there are like, oh my gosh, they are accomplished. And the same thing, like they put you in your mind that if you're in a community hospital, you don't do research, you will not match in like important programs. Like actually, I cry and I was so excited when I matched in this community program, but there was a part of me like maybe I need to like be prepared of not doing a fellowship,
Mm.
because you come from
It's
a
so
community.
challenging. Yeah.
Yes. And that's very an idea like everyone has. Oh, you need to match in a university hospital because otherwise you cannot do a fellowship. Like my co-fellows are like co-residents. They're amazing. They match on cardiology. I have one GI on Yale.
Hmm.
So it's really about yourself, like how much you put on in your like own work and try to go over all the problems that you would have. But I interview with Dr. Palomino, Dr. Abdelghani, Dr. Parada, and who is Dr. Sifoya. So I
Ah,
interview with them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they are great. And then Dr. Palomino starts speaking Spanish. And oh my gosh, he speaks Spanish as well. But I think it was Dr. Palomino. Like, I don't know, like now that I know him, I know how the person that he is and how amazing is
he's
him.
amazing.
But how you transmit that through a camera, right? I feel so peaceful when I interview with him. And then I'm like, I think I found the program. I told my husband, like, I think I found the program. Where is it? I'm like, New Orleans. We have never been in New Orleans. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I ranked them first. So I really feel very confident and comfortable just putting them in my first option. So I had other great programs, like in the area of Chicago as well, which I put like just behind, but it was just such the interaction and how friendly people were that like I want to go there. Like, and I didn't know what's IP. And actually, funny fact, I went back to my personal statement. And I'm like, I want to do interventional procedures in pulmonary.
You
But I
said
have
that?
never had exposure. I actually lie on my thing because I never had any exposure. Like I knew barely like pulmonologists do bronchoscopies. And I think just that came to my mind. Oh, that's probably an intervention. So let's put interventional pulmonary in my personal statement. But I really didn't have idea what
What that
interventional,
means?
what it even means. And I think Dr. Abdelgan interviewed and he just asked me a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I touched the bronch maybe one time, but such an amazing experience just from the interview day. Like, I still remember them exactly, like the words. And I sent Dr. Palomino an email, like, I am really ranking you high because I was very happy. Like, so I'm very glad I matched there. Very happy. I cry when I match over there. Yeah.
Can I tell you my interview day?
I have your story.
You heard of it
A
already?
little bit.
You know of it already?
A little bit, just a
Oh
little
my
bit. I
goodness.
think Charlene was suffering.
Oh my goodness. So I interviewed, and my interviews were obviously I had Dr. Parada,
Uh-huh.
I had Dr. Palomino, I had Dr. Fayez. He's not there anymore, but I'm
Yeah.
sure you know of him.
Yeah.
And who was my final interview? My last one, I don't remember. But I came to the interview with my dad, right? So, and I came to the interview with my dad. We lived in Thibodeau, about an hour away,
Yeah.
because I did my residency at Chabert, which
Mhm.
is in Homa, another small community
Yeah.
hospital.
Here you go.
And I know, and I definitely understand the concerns about, the chances of you matching are very, very aren't
Kind of,
great.
yeah.
You're IMG, you're going to a community program. So you just take the opportunities that
Yeah.
you get, right? The Tulane is strange because they interview, at least at the time, they interview on weekends, Saturdays.
Oh,
So we
okay.
had our interviews on the weekend, and it was on a
Mhm.
Saturday. So my dad came with me for whatever reason. Not for whatever reason, and I'll tell you why. He came with me, and I parked the car right by JBJ, right by the essentially the staff building. Go upstairs for my interview. I do a couple interviews. You do the meet and greet. I do a couple interviews. I walk out of one of the interviews, and my interview with Fayez, Dr. Care,
Yeah.
and my dad was eating the food. He was eating it. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Dad, what are you doing up here? He was talking to Charlene,
Yeah.
our program coordinator.
Yeah.
And they were having a blast. Ha, ha, ha. I was like, oh
Oh
goodness,
my
I am
God.
100% not getting this place. They will not rank me. My dad, and they were having the time of their life. And he was just, he was having the croissants,
Having, like, enjoying the time.
having a blast. Like, Dad, what are you doing? In any case, after all the interviews, there's a little meet and greet, and the meet and greet, where there's a little like opening on JBJ on the other
Mhm.
side, like that where essentially Dr. Laske's office is and those places are, and they had like a little wine, a little spritzer, that kind of stuff, and so everyone was hanging out, and we're talking to all of the other interviewees, and trying to get to know each other. I want to say it was Charlene that asked, so is anyone married? And a few people put their
Mhm.
hands up. Is anyone engaged? Something like that came up. And I was like, yeah, I'm engaged. And she was like, oh, congrats, when you
Oh.
getting married? And I was like, tonight.
Oh my gosh.
My wedding day was the day I did my interview. And she looked at me and she said, why are you here? Why are you here? And she was basically like, you need to get out of here. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, I'll go. So that experience, of course, the benefit of the reason all that worked out was because it just so happened that that was the only day I could have done
During the
it.
day, yeah.
Yeah. And we got married, my wife and I got married at her parents' house. So
Oh,
and it was a very small wedding. So it was
okay.
just family members. And her grandma was the one that officiated the wedding. So we had control
Okay.
over the actual
Mhm.
wedding. It was set for 7, but you can start whenever you
Yeah.
want. Um, so I wasn't really stressed out about it. But when she heard that, she was like, "Oh, you need to get out of here." So imagine my surprise, of course, when I matched at
Yeah.
Tulane. I still have Dr. Palomino's voicemail because I missed it
Oh,
because I was in clinic
you
that
missed.
day. I was in clinic at
Yeah, he
Chavert.
calls. Yeah.
He calls, and I still have it.
Oh my
I delete
God.
every other voicemail that comes into
Yeah.
my phone. Dr. Palomino's voicemail is the
Oh,
only one that stays. When I graduated, I played it for him. Um, and I honestly, it brings tears to my eye every time I
yeah.
think about it. Um, but Dr. Palomino, the program kind of embodies him, right? It's a
Yes.
very,
Yeah.
very calm, um, um, the community
Yes.
of the program is, I think, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's unmatched. The staff is so supportive.
Yeah.
Everyone is there to help you. Everyone understand. Like, there's just a good team from the staff, the co-fellows, they
Mhm.
do a really good job of picking fellows, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
we've had some of my favorite people are the fellows that I've that
Oh,
I worked with. So I feel the same way you feel about
yes.
Tulane Pulmonary Critical
I'm
Care.
very grateful. Yeah.
How was New Orleans for you when you came down?
Well, I'm telling you, I like winter. So it's kind of,
Ooh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's very
okay.
different.
But you know what? I'm still don't like the humidity and everything, like the weather. And I have been always transparent with everyone. This is not my ideal weather, like life situation. But you know what changed? Like how people, despite adversity, like living here, the
Hmm.
crime, the poverty, like university hospital, like the type of patient, they are always happy and they always say hi, even if they are in the worst situation. And it just keeps you moving. Like it's
Hmm.
such a nice type of patient population here that I have not experienced. In New York, I never worked as a physician, but really compared to New York, Chicago, here, people are just so happy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
enough. I put my air conditioning up in the car, like the coldest, like I could put it. My apartment's always cold. Like, I can live with this weather. The only thing I miss a lot is like hiking, which I try to travel to Mississippi, like maybe some parks, like national parks, not even hiking, but at least some natural
Yeah,
areas.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the thing I miss the most, but the weather is kind of, I'm struggling still. I love Mardi Gras. It was my first Mardi Gras. I got crazy first year. I got my all the days off. You
Yeah,
coordinate your days
yeah,
off with the rest of people. I haven't missed Mardi Gras for the last 3 years. So I go crazy. I grab a bunch of like the beads. I had like 200 cups at home that I need to get rid right now. But it's just such an amazing experience, Mardi Gras. I love it. I love everything about Mardi Gras. I think I have never gone to these parties like the boards or things like
Hmm.
that. I just go to the parades like a kid, just wearing like funny colors. I brought my mom the last Mardi Gras. We had such a great time. I love how people is happy in this city.
Did you get to? You mentioned how it was very important to you when you were in Chicago, being the voice
Hmm.
essentially for your patients that were Spanish speaking.
Hmm.
Did you get to have that experience here as well?
So it's less because here we don't have as many Spanish speakers. Like in Chicago, honestly, 80% of the time I was speaking Spanish.
Really?
Really. Like it was like as I'm saying, like my presentations in English, but really most of the time my co-residents, everything was Spanish. Really it
Mm.
was very, very Spanish. Here is less, of course. But I think I have made like good opportunities and connection. And in the future, I really trying to, translate consents or things like that. Anything that makes easier for Spanish speakers. It's not too much just because of the patient population. Like
Mhm.
here we have a great community of Hondurans, like Central America, which I have get great connection with those patients. And again, like in the clinic, if somebody comes to Spanish and they're like, "Can you see this patient? Let's exchange patient." I'm like, "Yes, of course." It's such a great connection when you speak the same language and they look at like you, right? It's
Right,
just
right,
it's just
right.
amazing. It's like just patients start talking about how they came to the US, like how they are here doing with the families. They just ask me, "Where are you coming from? You look young." Like it's such a nice way to speak in Spanish. I love my language and I love like taking care of patients in Spanish as well here.
I'm working on learning to speak Spanish much, much better. I need to what I want is a much more immersive experience.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll be able to get that opportunity now, but I want to go spend like a summer
Yes.
and just speak only
Yeah.
Spanish. That's the dream. So one day,
Yeah. Well,
um,
Tulane, they have like I know some residents. They go a to these communities like in Nicaragua or like those residents
mhm.
who speak Spanish. That's great. I wish I could do someday one of those things. I mean, technically, I'm almost out of training, but I think that's amazing. To get exposure to how they live and just come here and share the experience. Like I would love have done that. Like, but yeah.
Are you going to come back from Mardi Gras?
I don't know if I will have time. I think I'm gonna be pretty busy in the fellowship over there, so I don't think I will have time to come to Mardi Gras. So that's gonna be a sad year that I'm gonna miss all the beats and the cups.
So you are going to another fellowship,
Yes.
interventional pulmonary. Um, when did you get that itch? When did you? when in the fellowship program were you
Yes.
like, and I think our program is very
Yeah.
it's seductive. It
Yes.
seduces you.
Yes. Yes.
Interventional pulmonary can seduce you
Yeah.
when you're at Tulane Pump Crate program. So when were you seduced?
I think it was my first rotation IP. I think it was the second month or third month of fellowship. And then I went to this big room where it's like combing. And then I think during that time it was like Super D
Yeah,
still
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, gosh, this is super cool. And then he's just, oh, I'm getting some rows. And what's rows? What RAO, like the direction of the combing? I'm like, oh my God, this is super cool. I always had this passion for procedure. It's just surgery is too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I have never found an in between, right? It's just something like I love to do procedure. I'm very like, okay, who needs central line, like some type of access, I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
I am always into procedure. And then I'm like, oh, and this is cool. You can do in 1 hour and a half, in 1 hour, like give us terminal. Like, this is pretty cool. Like, I love it. And then you still, you talk to your patients, you discuss, you go also care sometimes. This is super cool. I mean, I want to do this. And then I think he asked me very early, like, hey, do you plan to do anything?
Who
And
asked you? Who asked you?
Dr. Abdelghani. And then I told him, I
Friend
think
of the show, by the way.
but
He's
yeah,
been here.
I saw him. I saw his episode. Hi. He's my mentor. Like I'm very grateful with him.
Yeah.
He's amazing. And then I told him, I think I want to do IP. And he's like, kind of pretty early. Like I was just amazed for all the machines. I have never seen those things. And then I'm like, I think he said, like maybe later, like give more chances, but if you want, like, yeah, welcome, like start working with me. And then by the end of first year, he really realized, like, I was trying to go to all the bronchoscopies, like whenever, neurology, sometimes they do bronchs. I'm like, just call me, whatever you want, I will bronch everyone. Like, I really get a lot of numbers of bronchoscopy. And then once I started doing EVAs, and you see the progress, like keeping doing more and more complex procedures. I love it. I'm like, I need to do this. It was a little bit sad to leave or think like, oh, maybe I need to not do too much critical care.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about
And
that.
then actually just before applying, I just sit one day and I told my husband, like, I don't know, like I enjoy so much to be in critical care and I gonna not do this. And then he's, yeah, but if you like kind of I'm happy where I am. So if I'm doing critical care, I'm very happy. But still I wanna do bronchs. And then if I don't do bronchs or like for such a long time or being in the IP suite, I'm like, I miss the IP suite. I really need to touch the bronch, otherwise I'm gonna get crazy. So really I love them so much, critical care and IP, but I think I would be very, very sad not doing IP than not doing critical care.
You'd be more sad if you didn't do IP.
Yes. So a part of me is still like, oh my gosh, I really did this for critical care mainly, and then I'm going to IP, but I could not live without doing IP. Like I love so much. And I know like sometimes during the weekends or something, I still can do some critical care, but I love IP so much. So yeah, so that's why I'm going.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Boston. I'm going to Beth Israel, Mass General, which is the Harvard combined IP program. So thanks to Dr. Abdelghani again. And, Dr. Packnell as well. Both of them, they were like research projects. Every time, any conference, like Dr. Abdelghani in the last conference, while I was applying, like, she's Diana, she's applying. I'm like, hold on. Like, I'm very comfortable when I talk people that I know, but when I have to introduce myself or just I'm kind of shy and I'm behind people, it's like, here's Diana, she's applying this year. So it was amazing to see all the support from everyone. Dr. Lasky, Dr. Palomino, you can do it. Like, we will support you. Just do whatever you need to do, and if you want, you can come back. So that was such a relief. Like, even without matching, it was like, maybe you can come back later, like taking care of this nice patient population and this nice program. So it really was a big effort from everyone. Rhonda, who is a respiratory therapist.
I need to get her here.
So she one time told me, and I will remember forever. That was even before Dr. Abdelghani knew I wanted to do IP. She was like, one day I was intubated, and then she's like, oh, you did like fast. That's Harvard material. Go there. And I'm like, thank you. I didn't even know I wanted to still IP. So she's such a like pushing, and then you can do it, girl. And then she calls me every time there is like nice procedure, she just texts me at 10 p.m. Hey, tomorrow is this procedure. The doctor of the guy told you. I'm like, yeah, he told me. Don't forget to come. So, it's a big effort of everyone around me, my family, respiratory therapists, nurses, Nikki, everyone was like, you can do it. You can do it. Dr. Palomino, it was everyone behind. And then thanks to them, like, I'm going there.
I love Rhonda, Nikki. Is Christine still there?
No,
Christine?
she left. Yeah.
Shout out to Rhonda, Nikki. Fantastic. Rhonda is the art respiratory therapist that works with the IP docs at Tulane. Well, now East Jeff.
Yes, East Jefferson.
Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. I'm very, very happy and proud of you. I think our program puts out a lot of IP.
Yes.
It's, like I said, it's so easy to get seduced by interventional pulmonary. But there's something that was missing. So you said interventional pulmonary, you said critical care. You don't like pulmonary, just regular pulmonary?
So I honestly apply everything because, I came from this program. I didn't have any pulmonologists around. So I'm like, well, I mean, you're going to intubate people. Maybe you need to know about the lungs per se to be a good critical care doctor. So that was my thinking. And previously, one resident, like upper level, she just went to critical care because
you just didn't.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Yeah, because that's what we had in the hospital. And then I came here and oh my God, I love lung cancer. Like, of course, goes together. Like, that's
With
a little
IP.
bit cheating, lung cancer and lung nodules with IP. But I really like ILD. I really like. I think I was seduced earlier by IP rather than ILD, but I really like. And I actually enjoy a lot my transplant rotation. But I think ILD and I want to sample. So maybe it's IP, I really like. I think in the future I will do more like nodule clinic kind of the clinics related with that, which is very linked to that. I don't want to lose that part. But yeah, there are other parts of pulmonary that really maybe not too much. Yeah.
Would you, I know they offered you the opportunity to come back.
Yeah. I think it's a fact.
You're coming back?
Yes.
Yeah, we got one back.
Yeah. No, they have been always very supportive. And I really like the team. I like my two mentors, Dr. Wagner and Dr. Abdelghani. So I like the team. I love Rhonda. I like UMC, which is our university hospital.
Yeah.
So, I'm very happy where I am right now. And all these things make me forget about the weather, which I can live, as I'm saying. I can live. It's just a fact, right? You cannot get everything at once. But I just realized how much I want to come back yesterday. I feel so sad. I was crying during graduation. And I think that's a good feeling when you are feeling so sad that you are leaving. And then I'm like, I never cry, like not even in the bad days of critical care. And I'm crying here in front of everyone, like because we had to give a little speech. So then I realized, and that's the right feeling if I'm planning to come, right? That I miss them so much. And I'm like, I cannot wait to come back and just see them, all of them again. So very happy to come back. But yeah, so let's see what happens.
My favorite football, actually, my interview with Dr. Palomino, when I interviewed for, going back to that, we spoke a lot about my favorite football team, soccer.
Oh, yes. I have here like a big team over.
Yeah. Liverpool, right here.
Yeah.
Is my favorite team. And our motto is "You'll never walk alone." So my personal statement was "You'll never walk alone." So I kind of spoke about that.
Oh my God, yeah.
And how much that embodies the way I intend to, provide for my patients. I'm saying that to say this: our manager of the football team, he just left. He's been there for about 9 years, Jurgen Klopp. And when he came, he had a line that he said, because we weren't doing very well. The team wasn't doing very well when he came. And he said, his goal is to turn the fans from doubters to believers. And then he said, it's more important how people feel about you when you leave than when you come in. And the reason I'm thinking about that is how you're saying you were, you were almost crying or crying.
Yeah.
at graduation, and I think that's a testament to you and to the program, right? So
Yeah.
it's more important. Um, it's most important how people feel about you when you leave
Yeah.
than when you get there.
Yeah.
So after it sounds like after your fellowship, we'll be seeing you again.
Probably.
Um, after moving forward, 3, 5, 10 years, what's your hope? What do you hope to do in the future?
um I really want, as I'm saying, working more with like Spanish community. So I think there is a lot to work. I don't want to be just the person who says, "Oh, I want to work something about like diversity and underrepresented like population." And I think lung cancer really here in the city, and that's why I want to come back to New Orleans. I think compared with the statistics of lung cancer, we're doing really bad here
Very
in the
bad.
South.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that they need more physicians, like we are in the lack of pulmonologists, and to help that, I really want to grow in that way professionally, just to make some project or huge impact, like, just locally. It doesn't need to be something, but if I can make one person to get lung cancer just because hear from me, or like a Spanish community, some type of impact, I would love to do that. So I'm not a researcher, but I kind of very involved in like doing projects, and I'm really excited to do some type of project. So I think I will be doing some kind of research related to lung cancer and kind of mixed with IP. I will probably be working in an IP suite all the time. But really that's my goal. Like, just get to the level right now. I'm very like comfortable and happy with what I'm doing. Again, get comfortable again with IP. It's that process of start getting more comfortable and doing more things. So I think I'm just gonna be doing that. Um, Trying to mix a little bit critical care once in a while to just get the adrenaline and just be happy. But yeah, I don't know which city. As I'm saying, I don't know if I will love so much to stay here with the patient population. I have to do a waiver, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna J. You are on a
Yeah,
J1
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So I understand that for sure.
Yeah, so probably will stay 3 years here. And I have talked with Dr. Abdelghani and the rest of the program. If we want at one point open a fellowship, like IP fellowship, that will be a great plan. So I mean, it depends what's coming next years, and just stay here and just start my entire life here and not planning to move anywhere, or just go back to Chicago. Is a great city that I would love to be part. But yeah, I think I will be on academics and trying to really get some type of research impact on cancer screening. So let's see.
What do you like to do for fun?
Um,
Hiking.
I like hiking. I like baking when I have time. Very
Mm.
good following instruction. I cannot cook any other things, but baking is very, very like, because you just follow the instructions. I'm really very like days off. I like to go out with my husband and the dog, just, walk around, go to some restaurants. Here you have a lot of restaurants, especially during winter. I like to walk. But during summer, just driving, but whatever, like whatever comes to the day. There are some days I just like to watch Netflix, just relax and not do anything. Yeah. So that's the main thing. When I can go back to my country, I go back to my country. Um,
When was the
it,
last time you went?
I went 2 years ago. I went 2 years to visit my great grandma. She
Mm.
passed. Yeah, but
Mm.
she was 93 years old. I'm glad I made to see her the last time. And then I go to the farm when I'm go travel over there. But most of the times I bring my family. Like, my mom was here for graduation,
Oh.
so I try to bring my family, like spacing every couple of like 6 months. In that way, I see them. My grandma was here. My grandpa was here
Mm-hmm.
as well. It's a lot, New Orleans, for my mom during Mardi Gras. It was a lot. So
You had a good time?
she got a good time. It was
It
a
is a
lot.
lot. It is a
It's
lot.
a lot. Like,
Yeah.
we had to park far away, walking there. Yeah, but yeah, whatever. I am very sporadic what I do. Tomorrow we're going to Dr. Supat's farm.
Oh
We're
yeah,
going
I
to
heard
do a
about
trip.
this. I
Yeah,
heard
we're doing
about
a
this.
trip. So,
Yeah.
whatever it comes, like, I really like to interact with people and just have a good time. Whatever I can do.
Your whole life, you've kind of been doing medicine. At least your whole adult life.
Mhm.
If you couldn't be a doctor, what would you do?
I think I will have a dog shelter and take care of dogs. I love dogs so much. My dog's my kid. I think probably that will hopefully don't change once I get kids. I want to have one or two kids, but I love dogs. I love animals so much. I should do be vegetarian, which I'm not. I'm trying. Maybe one time I will try. But I love so much like animals, like respect. Like my grandparents, they have the farm, but
Right, right,
those
right.
cows are really like organic. The term of
Mm-hmm,
organic, they
mm-hmm.
are free. Like they are not like abused or like really bad care. It's like really conscious farming. Um, so yeah, hopefully one day I have a farm, but I will be a dog walker or something related with dogs, something with dogs. It doesn't matter, whatever.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Iana Espinoza, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Last Zebra. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. We have new episodes every Tuesday on all of your podcast platforms, and the videos are available on YouTube. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one.